AITA for removing my daughter's bedroom door because she won't stop slamming it. I, 40F, have 3 kids. Maggie, 14F. Levi, 12M, and Charlie, 10M. Asterisk not their real names. Asterisk Levi and Charlie share a bedroom and Maggie has her own room as the oldest and also only as a great kid. She does her homework, helps with chores without too much complaint, doesn't bug her little brothers too much. The issue is that she will not stop slamming her bedroom door. When she gets up to use the bathroom at night, she slams her bedroom door on her way out and back in. When she gets up in the morning or goes to bed at night, she slams it. Pretty much any time she enters or exits her room, the door gets slammed. And it's only her door, none of the other doors in the house. It shakes the walls and frequently wakes up everyone else in the house. Her brother's room shares a wall with hers and our bedroom is directly above. Talked to her about it and asked her very politely to please be more mindful about it because it is disturbing the rest of us, but it's in one ear and out the other. We tried being more forceful about it, saying that if she continues to slam her door there will start to be consequences. Still nothing changes. It all came to a head the other night when she got up to use the bathroom and all 4 of us were woken up by the slamming. I have to be up at 5 a.m. for work and I've had enough of the broken sleep and came downstairs and knocked on her door. She opened it and said what? With such attitude it took a lot of self-control not to start. Told her as calmly as I could that if she slammed that door one more time she was going to come home and find it gone. She proceeded to yell at me to leave her alone and then slammed it 5 times as hard as she could. Well, the next day, Friday, she went to school and my husband and I both had the day off, so we took the door off the frame and installed a curtain rod with a nice heavy curtain over the door instead. She came home and freaked the out. She said we're being emotionally abusive and taking away her right to privacy. She sulked all weekend and won't talk to us now. My mother says I'm the because I overreacted, but she doesn't have to deal with the house. Want to add that we completely respect each other's privacy in our house, which is why we hung up a heavy curtain and made sure that we couldn't see through it or around it. We even put little Velcro pieces on the walls and curtain sides so it stays in place. She still has her physical privacy, which she is absolutely entitled to, but can't slam a piece of fabric. We also have never and still don't just go into her room unannounced and still knock on the wall to ask permission to enter. We've told her we'll happily put her door back on once she agrees to respect the no slamming rule. So AITA? Edit to add. 1. The curtain is an industrial type that blocks sound and light. 2. The curtain is only meant to be a temporary measure. As soon as she agrees to stop slamming and be respectful of the shared space, we will put it right back. The door isn't broken or malfunctioning in any way and there is no draft causing it to swing shut.
I told her as calmly as I could that if she slammed that door one more time she was going to come home and find it gone. She proceeded to yell at me to leave her alone and then slammed it 5 times as hard as she could. I guess she made that decision on her own and was very sure about it. 5 times.
Usually, parents who remove their children's bedroom doors are controlling and abusive who don't give a single about their child's privacy. But right here, your daughter repeatedly slammed the door to her bedroom after you both politely and sternly told her not to do so multiple times. Taking away her door seems like a fitting punishment in this.
NTA, that's what I call you're teaching your kid a valuable lesson. Actions have consequences. And she's even able to reverse this decision if she agrees to not slam. Which, for some reason, she won't agree to it. P.S. The curtain was a great touch.
Put some annoyingly slow hinges on it. They put them in at my former workplace and you couldn't slam anything.
I did this also, for 2 weeks. My son decided that he would not slam the door if I put it back. He did not slam his bedroom door again. Occasionally he did slam the back door. Soon decided to stop doing that also. No, did not remove that door. Just locked it. Front door had a soft close gadget I installed.
NTA. Interrupting everyone's sleep is unacceptable. You gave her plenty of opportunities to change her door slamming behavior and she didn't do it. Let her sulk it out for a set amount of time. Let her know this amount. 1 week. 3 days. Whatever you choose. Then return the door conditionally for a trial. If she can refrain from slamming it, she can keep it. If not, the door gets taken off again for even more time. Rinse and repeat until she no longer slams.
NTA. Actions to consequences. It costs literally nothing to close a door properly, and at some point her slamming the door progressed from maybe accidental to careless, and then to reckless, disrespectful. She was clearly warned of what would happen, and she chose to around and find out. The curtain is a nice compromise that still provides her with the level of privacy she should need.
I was fully prepared to let you have it over the title, but with context NTA at all. Actually, I think you handled it perfectly. She still has her privacy, you gave her plenty of chances and she deliberately doubled down on the disrespect. Well played.
This might be controversial, but since you've replaced it with a fabric alternative, I'm going with NTA. I do agree with what will no doubt be many comments about the importance of privacy, but I do feel like this argument is satisfied with the use of the curtain. I will say though, that this should only be a temporary measure. She should get her door back in the not too distant future. Also, the second your sons or their friends start to try and enter her room uninvited, then the door goes back on and you need to figure out a better solution.
NTA because her slamming the door is so loud it wakes everyone else up, and she refuses to not slam the door. This is the best. Think there are things you can attach to doors, I forget what they're called, which prevent a door from being slammed. But if they can't be used on inside doors, it's perfectly reasonable to give her a heavy is definitely being the here, by refusing to respect a basic, no slamming your bedroom door, rule.
Greater than she opened it and said what? With such attitude, it took a lot of self-control not to start you checked in with her to see if she's upset about something? Or if she won't talk to you, maybe a guidance counselor or therapist. It sounds like she knows it upsets you, and that's the point of why she's doing it. But she's not telling you why she wants to upset you, so you're acting on partial, but maybe follow this up with a day out, just the two of you, so you can check in with her mentally.
NTA I was all ready to go in the other direction, but I think this has had multiple conversations with her. If she wants the consideration of privacy, she can learn to be considerate of others. When she slammed the door 5 times in quick succession, even I was ready to go take the door off.
Completely agree. I was that kid and my parents removed my door, and deservingly so. The people on here saying op is the and that he's causing trauma and mistrust are out of touch. Actions have consequences and kids need to learn how to express their emotions and handle their feelings without doing stuff like yelling and slamming doors.
This right here, my mama would have, woo-wee, I can't even. And my own daughters would never.
Also, a curtain was installed for a sense of privacy. I feel like it was a fitting punishment without taking away all sense of privacy.
I think she'll agree once she's done sulking. She's digging her heels in right now because she's a 14-year-old carbon copy of me. Once it goes back on though, I won't even mention the situation again as long as the slamming doesn't start up again. I'll put the door back on tonight if she acknowledges that her actions affect the rest of the house and agrees to stop slamming it.
Was at my best friend's house when I was about 10. She and her twin sister were playing by their bedroom door, absolutely horsing around and slamming into the door repeatedly while playing. We could hear their dad from the other side of the house saying calmly, loudly, and warningly, "Paren con la puerta," roughly, "Stop messing with the door." Minutes go by and they keep slamming into the door loudly, so we hear it again, "Paren con la." I was fully bracing at that point, looking at them and then they kick the door, hear steps. The man opens the door, lifts it right off its hinges, and walks off with the door under his arm without of my favorite memories of childhood.
Completely agree. I was that kid and my parents removed my door, and deservingly so. The people on here saying op is the and that he's causing trauma and mistrust are out of touch. Actions have consequences and kids need to learn how to express their emotions and handle their feelings without doing stuff like yelling and slamming doors. NTA. You gave warnings. You asked politely and you followed note. There are door slam silencers online that you can install in the door jamb to quiet this down. Just wanted to put more options on the table.
I was all set to call up the bad guy for taking away a teenager's privacy. But they gave her ample chances and even gave her a curtain, which was a perfect.
The slamming it a few times in a row was the point where the door had to go. Op's daughter might not have meant to wake others, but at that point it was teenage nephew lost his door for slamming it, and when he got it back, he requested padding to help cushion the door. He actually lost the door when he slammed it shut and broke his little brother's foot during an argument. I think that made him feel worse than the actual grounding.
Yep, I was expecting a whole story, but she's disrespecting the entire household and doubled down with that 5x slamming rebuttal. She effed around and found out. Oh, daughter should know that loud, disruptive sounds and sleep deprivation can be actual forms of abuse.
It's absolutely only intended to be a temporary measure to get our point across. As soon as she acknowledges that she's disturbing the rest of the family and agrees to stop slamming, it'll go right back on.
Came here to comment this too. NTA but I think there's a potentially awesome parenting, bonding opportunity to dig deeper into what's bothering her so much that she's taking it out on a door in her teenage fury. I'd return her door to her really quickly and wrap it into a conversation about what is really going on.
Lol woo wee is right. If the wind slammed my door shut after I got a scolding, I felt the blood drain from my head and I held my breath until my mum came thundering back up the stairs.
The abusive parents would never install a heavy curtain, and then ensure it was sealed to the walls like the most part, took the door off, gets my radar up. But this, if you are gonna do it, this is textbook why to do it and how to do it.
My dad once took my bedroom door off for a day until I cleaned my room and agreed to start making an effort to be tidier. It worked, and as an adult, I look back on what a smart move that was.
You handled this like a pro as a former teacher who had to deal with behavior management issues all the time. You didn't use anger or yell. You outlined an expectation and the consequence if the expectation isn't met. And then you followed through in the most respectful way possible, adding the fabric. The follow-through is where most people falter, cause who likes punishing kids? And you have a pathway to restore the thing taken away and having her take accountability. She doesn't get it for free, she needs to acknowledge her wrong and actually make it. Wouldn't change anything about how you handled it. Just stay firm with your lines and expectations. She may fix the issue permanently or she may test you upon return of the door. Consistency is key, even if you have to change the consequence. Don't let the annoyance of having to remind her, if needed, stop you from following through on what you say you will do while still being respectful of her.
Had to do something similar with our screen door to our sliding glass door over last summer. Still kids wouldn't stop opening and closing it aggressively for no reason and I just fixed it. So when they came over the door came off.
I was thinking of those fire door things they put on doors in rental properties which mean the doors close super slowly.
The curtain put it in NTA territory for me.
Yep, she went nuclear with that move. Slamming the door, 5 times in a row, in her parents' face, in the middle of the night, disturbing everyone's sleep. I would have done exactly the same. Brilliant parenting. Keep following through. NTA a million times over.